Calaroga Shark Media.
I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Today's edition is all Santa Claus-themed. It was supposed to be a routine appointment for 6-year-old Hope. She was at the Hanger Clinic meeting with her prosthetist. They were looking at silicone inserts for a future prosthetic. Suddenly, the sound of jingle bells echoed from down the hallway. People heard a loud ho, ho, ho. Who was it? You guessed. Santa Claus showed up with a sack full of toys specifically for Hope. Santa sat down next to her and gave her each toy one by one. Her favorite, a stuffed teddy bear whose mouth and feet doubled as pockets. Ooh, that's clever, points out the Albuquerque Journal. Hope's smile was ear to ear as Santa told her stories about the number of elves and warehouse required at the North Pole to build and store all the toys. Hope was born without a right leg. Mom Laura said, "We live in a world that's built for able-bodied people." Despite the concerns, Hope hasn't let her condition define her. She loves doing ballet classes and playing with her friends at school. As you know, Santa's pretty busy this time of year, and like so many of us, he's using AI to help him out. There's an online portal available through December 17th. It's Santa's Magical Mailroom. It'll ask you some questions like name a favorite thing from the holiday season, who are we writing a letter for today, and what was a highlight from the year. Then an AI-powered machine helps Santa generate a letter. It gets printed and mailed out, signed, of course, by Santa and delivered in time for Christmas. Good use of technology by Santa there. More than 1,000 people donned Santa suits and cruised through the streets of Milwaukee. It was the Santa Cycle Rampage, an annual ride for holiday merrymaking and cycling advocacy. Mark was there, and he kicked things off with a shot ski. What's that? It's a line of shot glasses glued to a ski, allowing for several people to down a shot in unison. Mark says, "I think once you get soaked up into an ocean of Santas, it's something that's to behold." The Santa Cycle Rampage started 20 years ago as a pub crawl among friends. People saw how much fun the group was having, and now it's the world's largest holiday-themed costume bike ride for charity. Last year, between this ride and a sister ride in Madison, the group raised $50,000. And they want to be clear, it's not a race, it's a slow roll. Along the way, groups split off to visit bars and restaurants to welcome cyclists to break for milk or cookies or beer and cheese curds. Mac Barnett has been studying Santa's magical ways, how that whole chimney thing works. He said, "I lived in an apartment that didn't have a chimney, so I talked a lot with my mom about how Santa was going to get into our apartment and give us gifts. Does he cinch up his belt? Does he shrink himself down to the size of a mouse? Does he stretch out like Taffy and step in one leg at a time?" He started writing a book called How Does Santa Go Down the Chimney? Mac says this felt like a chance to set up the problem and propose a bunch of solutions and basically put Santa through the ringer in pictures. We know a lot about what Santa's up to. We know where he lives. We know how he gets to the house with the flying reindeer. We know where he works on the presents. But as for how he gets in your house, he says, it's strange there's no definitive answer to this, considering this is a guy who does this every year. But points out, I don't think we want to know how he does it. The mystery, the wonder, the impossibility, that's the point. It's beautiful to kind of face the impossible that way. Airbnb is inviting one lucky family to spend 3 nights at Santa's cabin. This is in Finland. You not only get to stay there, you can volunteer to work in Santa's post office, which is only a short distance from the cabin. Santa gets 30,000 letters every day. Katja is the post office's chief elf and also an Airbnb host. Katja says, "We want this to be a magical and immersive experience for a family in search of the ultimate Yuletide experience. Not only will guests get to sleep in Santa Claus's cabin, they'll also get a sneak peek behind the scenes of the world's official Santa Claus post office during our liveliest time of the year. If you win, you'll stay in a cabin bedecked in traditional Lapland decorations, you'll dine on Finnish meals, you'll wear elf clothing, and go on, quote, many awe-inspiring adventures. The stay in Santa's cabin is free and might, maybe, perhaps, possibly include complimentary flights, depending where you're coming from." I like how they couched it that way. So if you're in Perth, Australia, they might not be hooking you up as much as if you're coming from London. The experience will be available to one family, up to 2 adults and 2 children. Oh, that's rough. So if I had one years ago, which of my kids isn't coming? That's not cool. From December 18th to the 21st, booking for the stay on Airbnb starts on December 11th at noon Eastern European time. That's 5 a.m. Eastern, so you might want to jump on the website and see if you win. And that is your 5 good news Santa stories for today. I'll be back on Monday with a normal episode. Tuesday and Thursday, Astor's doing Christmas stories. I guess this was a Christmas episode as well, right? Have a great weekend.